All right, so back in July, I completed my first year on eBay and I made a video to recap it. I edited the video, everything. It's a 12-minute masterpiece. No, I'm joking. It's a 12-minute video. Um, I don't know why it never got posted. It was missing a couple of finishing touches, and literally that was it. It was missing about 15 minutes of work. I never got it done. I could not go to sleep today without getting it done. It's not that late. It's like 1 in the morning. Um, yeah, enjoy this little time capsule, and we'll get caught up after this. We'll be right back to making videos. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and yeah, enjoy the video. In our first year, we actually had a total of 705 orders. How's it going, everyone? My name is Ari on Instagram and on YouTube as Nothing New Thrifts. I consider myself a brand new eBay reseller, but we actually did just complete our first full year on eBay, and I'm pretty excited to talk about it. I'm excited to share with you guys how we did. We're going to get into our numbers. We're going to go into basically how many sales we had and the dollar amount of how many sales we had, and maybe we'll break it down into a little bit of details and talk about actually how much profit we made in those first 12 months. At the end, I'll actually talk about how the last few months have been going for us, and as opposed to the first 12 months, and I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and here we go. Let's get right into the numbers. In our first year, we actually had a total of 705 orders. Those 705 orders had an average sales price per item of $42. That added up to $29,635 in sales. We thought that was pretty impressive, being our first year at trying something completely new to us. We're super, super excited to keep going from here. As you can see, our first year, we basically saw our sales grow month over month. Slight slowdown in the holiday season. Yeah, we're a little distracted, but then we picked right back up in January, and yeah, just been going strong since then. When we first started off on eBay, we were actually doing mostly video games, constantly trying to snipe deals on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. And honestly, when the deals were actually really, really good, they would be gone like that. They'd be gone before you could get your hands on them, before you could message the people. They would either sell the item off for double what it was listed, or they would realize it was worth too much, and they would take it down. Yeah, that got pretty old pretty fast. We got tired of that, so we started going to thrift stores, we started going to yard sales, and it was the same idea though. We were looking for video games. We were hunting for Nintendo. We were hunting for PlayStation games. We were hunting for just old video games. That's all we thought we were looking for. That kind of transitioned to electronics. That was an easy transition, going to older electronics from older video games. Same idea, model number, easy to look up, easy to ship, easy to list. We went from that to kind of realizing that there was always one thing that was in abundance, one thing that was always cheap, always, yeah, just always there. Usually you can get it for 50 cents, get it for $1, and it was the clothing. When we started, we actually didn't know much about clothes at all. We learned as we went. We dug through the racks. We looked everything up on eBay. We watched a lot of resellers on YouTube. Yeah, we did what any good student would do, and we studied. And it paid off. It made us way more knowledgeable. It makes it way easier to go through racks. You find way more stuff. All right, so before we get into the 5 best sales of the year, I do want to mention one thing. I want to talk about the one thing that we did to watch our sales grow consistently. The one thing that we did was get our listings up. Since the beginning, we've kind of had a 50% sell-through rate. So we had 100 items listed. We had around 50 sold for the 90-day total. As we increased our listing total, that 90-day total of sold literally grew with it. We're currently at about 850 items listed, and we're currently at about 460 items sold. So our sell-through rate has gone up, and again, those numbers have basically climbed together. It's not just listing anything though. Definitely you're going to want to list high quality items. Do your research, do your homework. There's definitely a few resellers on YouTube that I do want to recommend. They know their stuff. They give out free knowledge all day long. Daily Refinement and Tech and Sports, they have a really good YouTube channel. I've learned a lot from them. Basically free mentorship if you just want to sit there and let them play in the background and tell you how to run your eBay store. Big Yumbo on YouTube. He's entertaining, super entertaining, and actually has a lot of knowledge as well. I've watched a lot of different resellers, and this guy low key knows his stuff. He's funny, acts like he doesn't know what he's doing, but he knows his stuff. Really cool guy. And the last guy that I would recommend is Thrift-A-Life. If there's anybody that I've learned brands from and like what to call things, it's going to be that guy. I learned so many terms from him. Again, before starting this, we really didn't know anything about clothes. I learned like seersucker from him. I learned pleated from him. Anyways, those are three really good YouTube channels that I recommend. You could watch those, you know, again, pick up free knowledge from these guys and make it a lot easier for yourself. But just constantly list more items and you'll see your sales grow. So now it's time to talk about the 5 biggest sales of the year. These 5 items cost us a total of $120 and they brought in $1,310 of sales. So we'll start at the bottom with the smallest sale. The first sale we're going to talk about is this President McKinley 12 volt 24 volt radio. I believe it's like a truck driver radio. We picked this up. We picked 2 of these up actually. We picked this up at a Savers thrift store. We paid $15 for it and it sold for $150. I think it sold in less than a month. It sold in a couple weeks. It had a high sell-through rate when we got it. We listed it high and we just waited for a buyer. Yeah, it took a couple weeks to sell. That was awesome. The next item on the list, we actually picked up at the same store. We picked up at Savers thrift store as well. It was a random item. I almost kicked it, you know, it was on the floor. I picked it up. I thought it looked funny. And immediately, you know, the buttons looked funny. The what they said kind of stood out to me. The back, I think it was made in Japan. Yeah, so this thing, we looked it up right away. It had the same thing. It had a crazy sell-through rate. I think there was 8 listed at the time. I don't remember clearly, but I think there was like 50 sold or something like that. We were able to get $200 for that, this Omnicord, Suzuki Omnicord. Third item on the list was another hard goods, another thrift store pickup. This thing was cool. I actually didn't even pick this up for the printer. I thought the printer was going to be junk. I found a printer at the thrift store. It was wrapped in plastic, but it was actual, there was like 6 or 8 packs of ink like wrapped inside with it. So I saw the ink, it was all HP ink. That's what I bought it for. The whole thing was $25. I thought, you know, that'd be a good buy for $25, all that ink. Ended up being $225 on the sale that we did for the printer, and then we ended up selling the rest of the ink for $50. So it was $275 overall that purchase brought us. And again, I paid $25 for that printer, so that was awesome. We tested it, it worked perfectly. I printed out some stuff I needed to print out, and then we got that thing sold. I mean, in a couple of days, I believe. I think it sold in 2 to 3 days. Fourth item on the list. This one's awesome. This one's actually pretty special because it was in our first ever yard sale video. It's like a pretty lame, or not lame, but it was my first video. It was like a 16-minute long video. I didn't do a great job editing it, but it was cool. Again, I wasn't trying to like edit a video. I was documenting. So I did, you know, that was my first time ever going to yard sales. And we ran across like an Apple Power CD player. We picked it up at a yard sale. We paid $10 for it. Again, this is our first time ever going to yard sales. We paid $10 for it, and we saw they were selling online for $200 to $300. Obviously, I mean, thank God that happened because we were hooked. We were hooked from day one on the yard sales. We had that listed on eBay for a while. I didn't even notice. So I was new to eBay at the time. I didn't even notice it had gotten unlisted and was sitting in my unlisted pile for I don't know how long. At one point, I relisted it when I noticed. And I think it sold within a couple days. We got an offer for around $220, accepted that. They paid immediately. That was amazing. That was, again, a couple months into reselling. That was our biggest sale ever to date. And it definitely, you know, got us even more motivated and got us like more excited to keep going. And the fifth and final item, the biggest sale that we had of the year, was pretty exciting. The total we had for this sale, we paid $60 for this item, and the total sale added up to $465. But we actually had another piece of that bundle that sold later on, out of the 12 months, that we could count it as well. That was another $80. So that was $545. I hope I did that right. Yeah, 60 to 545. So this is how it broke down. The first item was actually this giant speaker. I mean, it was literally like this big, this wide. It was heavy as heck. Um, when I picked it up, I actually didn't even look at that. When I picked it up, I was actually looking to pick up these tapes, the first part of the bundle that I sold. I went to pick up the tapes in the case. I think they had like a sticker on them, but the sticker was old. It wasn't a Goodwill sticker. So the guy said, "Oh no, sorry, we can't sell those. Those actually go together with the machine right there." He showed me the machine. The machine was $60. So the machine was $60. All the tapes, I knew the tapes would sell. I actually had sold some of these similar tapes before, so I was excited to pick up the tapes. $60 for the machine with the tapes. I figured we could donate the machine. That was like kind of the plan. I walk over to the machine. I go to look it up on eBay. It's like a $300 to $500 to like $800 machine, depending, how much you know about it or how well it's tested. I picked it up, $60 for the machine included with the tapes. We picked all that up, took it home. Did not test the machine, at all. Sold it as is, untested. That's our thing. We're just very clear with our description. If we don't test it, we let them know it's untested, sold as is. If there's anything that's funny with it, we try to describe it. If anything is like wobbly or if anything makes a noise, we do our best to describe it. Anyways, this thing broken down, the first bundle sold for $115. That was a giant stack of like the 15 or 10, 15 reusable cassettes that go to the machine. These actually all had music like recorded on them. These all had music like recorded on them, and it actually had pretty good music on there. So I think that probably helped with the sale. So that was one stack. The second stack, the one that I'm saying sold after the 12 months, was one single of these cassettes, and that one is actually sealed. So that one sealed by itself sold for $80. So that was awesome. And then the final piece was the machine. The machine sold for about $400 plus shipping. All these items sold plus shipping. We charge shipping on all of our items, but yeah, $400 plus shipping. Biggest sale of the year. It was not that hard to pack. The biggest thing is literally, if you have to, go buy a box that fits properly, and that way you don't waste your time trying to make it fit anywhere where it doesn't fit. But yeah, 5 sales, 120 spent, $1,300 in sales. Not bad at all. All right, so that's basically wrapping up our first year on eBay recap video. I appreciate you guys for watching till the end of the video. I appreciate you guys that have supported from like the beginning. Basically, it's been a fun year so far. It's just the beginning. Honestly, I'm not that I'm not excited for next year or the year after, but I'm thinking like 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I plan to have a huge eBay store. That's the plan. That's the goal. It will definitely keep you guys posted on the YouTube. So definitely give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe if you haven't already. Again, there's a lot more that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't, just because, again, I don't want this video to be too long, and I think they could be, cool other videos. I want to talk about my photography setup. I want to talk about, some other stuff I've learned, some mistakes we made. Yeah, a lot of other videos that definitely we plan on making. So stick around and stay tuned. And yeah, thanks again, and we will see you guys on the next one.